That's a pretty good turnout.
Good afternoon. My name is Joe Paul. I'd like to start by thanking the selection committee for accepting our late request for induction into the Hall of Fame and their favorable action on it. I'd also like to take the opportunity to thank classmate and class agent Steve Gilhooly for raising the possibility of getting the Choate 61 football team into the Hall of Fame. Without his initial effort, we wouldn't be standing here today. I also want to single out John Wilkes, teammate and classmate, who has done more than anyone else to keep alive the spirit and record of that 1961 football team. Regarding that season, I want to borrow a title from a Frank Sinatra song. It was a very good year. Indeed, it was. Regarding that team, it was made up mostly of kids who possessed pretty good skills and a few with exceptional capabilities. One of those people is the late Bruce Malloy, who's already been inducted into the Hall of Fame. As a team, we were not big. The line averaged between 185 and 190. The backfield was between 170 and 175. Unlike many teams today, quite a few of us played both ways on offense and defense, so that there was very little time during the game for those of us who did so to catch our breaths. I believe there were somewhere between 5 and 7 of us who played both ways. As I said, only a few possessed outstanding skills, and therein lies the unique character of the team. As a team, we built on and reinforced each other's capabilities to the point where we were dominant with every team we played. The guy on your left, the guy on your right, the guy in front of you, and the guy behind you had your back. It was a classic example of a group of young men coming together in such a way that the sum of their individual talents was exceeded by the total performance of the team. In short, I'm good, you're good, and together we're great. Every coach's dream. Speaking for myself, I was not really aware of the record that we were generating with respect to our wins and losses as the season went through. It wasn't until we beat Lawrenceville 18-7, breaking their 3+ year unbeaten streak, that I was aware of what we were in the process of accomplishing. The fact that we got national recognition in Sports Illustrated for doing so didn't hurt. I can also tell you that as the season progressed, I was not aware of what we were doing with respect to the defense. 13 points the whole season. One more thing. If you look at the Choate brief for 1962, on page 183, there's a list of 28 kids. And the title of it is The Team. These are the kids, I think, who got varsity letters that season. But that doesn't tell the whole story. Because as good as we were as a team, there's a group of kids I affectionately call scrubs. Every one of us was a scrub. A look in the mirror. Everyone who played sports at some point in their career was a scrub. You were the kid who was too young, too small, too fat, too slow, too uncoordinated to play the varsity, to play on the varsity, excuse me. You were the kids the varsity scrimmaged against every day, offense and defense. You were the kids who got your asses kicked by the varsity every day. And you came back every day because you wanted to be that one kid sooner or later who was playing on the varsity team. And if you're wondering specifically who some scrubs could be or were, I would remind you probably of the most famous scrub of all. He was a kid who, as a sophomore in high school, got cut by his varsity basketball coach. His name is Michael Jordan. I want to talk about the community of Choate. The impact the team had on the Choate school, and it was just not on the students, but on the whole community of Choate, faculty, staff. It's hard to overstate that impact. At the home games, and sadly there were only 3 of them, the stands were packed. The sidelines were full of students, family members, friends. After the Lawrenceville game, last game of the season, the goalposts were torn down, fires were set, and it was a great celebration, just like in the movies and in the songs. To quote my classmate Steve Bill Hooley, I had a major section of the goalpost in my room at Choate, and after Choate for many years, in my parents' basement. For the Deerfield game, buses were chartered to get the kids up to the game. I well remember returning to Choate that night after our victory over Deerfield. We all met on the football field. Everybody in the whole damn school, I swear, was there. It was loud, it was cold, and it was great. All of those activities and memories underscore the fact that it was indeed a different time, and Choate seemed like a different and special place. That season was one of the most memorable of my football career. To my teammates, Choaties all, those who are still vertical and sucking in breath every 10 or 15 seconds, and to those who have passed, especially Captain Fred and Bruce, I say to you all now, with this recognition, our 61 team is now 8-0. Thank you.